Hello all you shavers out there, and welcome to another edition of Redbeard Shaves. Today is another top 5 review, and it's going to be on brush knots today. So I have 5 of my go-to knots that I tend to lean towards, and then 2 honorable mentions. The top 5 are in no particular order. They just tend to be what I gravitate to. I do use certain ones for certain types of soaps, but first off, let's go ahead and go with the honorable mentions. So one of my honorable mentions is provided by Craving Shavings, and that is his Duro knot. And this is a pretty good synthetic knot, very, very soft tips. But what's nice about this is if you like backbone, it has a good amount of backbone as well. So it will scoop into the soap pretty good, but it has very, very nice soft synthetic tips. Pretty good brush. Another synthetic knot that is out of my top 5 but gaining more influence on me is the Boss knot. Now this Boss knot happens to be in my Wild West Brushworks Big Shave Swest brush, but very, very soft knot, medium to maybe a little bit heavier backbone. But it really whipped up a great lather in a short amount of time, and I quite enjoyed this. Going into my top 5, again, no particular order, but probably my favorite synthetic knot is going to be the Blood knot. I really, really enjoy these knots. It has a good backbone, very soft tips, whips up a good lather. It's good for exfoliation, and also if you want to paint on the lather, works really, really well. Now the next 4, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I tend to lean towards Badgers, so it's not surprising that 4 of my 5 brushes in my top 5 are all Badger style brushes. But one that's doing a crossover in that I do really like is the S1 Innovator, which is exclusive to Richman, and this is a hybrid knot, so this is both Badger and synthetic in it. But it has really good heat retention, whips up a really nice lather, has a little bit of scritch to it, but is still very soft. Really enjoy these knots. They do a very good job at both digging into the soap and holding lather, but then also releasing the soap from the bristles as well. Very soft, get a good amount of exfoliation. I do have a fair amount of shedding out of these knots. They are very, very dense, very thick, and you can see there's a lot to them. So even when you lose those hairs or fibers, you're really not losing anything overall. Good knots to have in your den. Another one that I really enjoy is a High Mountain White. For me personally, High Mountain Whites I actually thought would be softer than silver tips, but they have a little bit more scritch than a silver tip knot. But they do, once you break them in and use them more, they will get good splay once they have the water in them. Still very soft, medium backbone, good for exfoliation, but also very good for painting. This one happens to be in my Wolf Whiskers Custom, and it's a 25 millimeter High Mountain White in here. Working down closer to the top 2, again the top 5 are in no particular order, but I do like a good silver tip knot very much. This happens to be one in my Yaki brush. This is a 24 millimeter silver tip. Good heat retention, good water retention, scoops up the lather. Excellent exfoliation, but still soft at the same time. A little bit lighter backbone than a High Mountain White, but still does the good job. I can get a good splay on my head, but then also catch my neck and my cheeks quite well with these. And I just like the warm bristles from the heat retention in a Badger, so that's why I tend to lean towards these. And then something that's kind of hitting everybody in the shaving community by storm is the 2-band Manchurians with gel tips, and these are phenomenal. The gel tip on this is a way that they treat it, that it turns the tips to gel. They'll kind of hook. Once they've hit water, they get super, super soft, a lot of glide. Very, very soothing and luxurious on the skin, but you still get a little bit of exfoliation with them. This is a 28 millimeter 2-band Manchurian from Maggards in my Leo Freelo custom ebonite handle. Really enjoy these knots. What I really like about them is the more you use them, the more they bloom out and splay out. So they really get a lot of skin coverage. Very luxurious feeling. They will hold the lather. So like this 28, if you overload on the puck, you're going to be rinsing out soap for quite a while because it'll get pretty deep in there. And it will hold on to a fair amount of it. So occasionally if you overload, it will seem like you're not releasing the soap well. It's just that these things will grab onto a ton of soap. So be mindful of that, play around with it, find kind of the sweet spot for the amount of lather you like, and load accordingly. I hope you enjoyed my can't talk today, sorry, my top 5 knots, and have some great shaves. If you haven't tried some of these, I encourage you to try some of them. Again, you can even re-knot one of your own handles that you already have. You can pick up all of these knots off of Maggards for a very reasonable price, and they make a top quality knot. So with that, have some great shaves. Shave on, my friends, and this is Redbeard out. Talk to you later. Bye.